This year I planted two types of watermelons. I planted Royal Golden and Mountain Sweet Yellow. In this video I'll tell you how they did for us, and then I'll do a taste test of both watermelons, and then I'll give you some of my final thoughts. One thing to know about the Royal Golden watermelon is that not only does it end up looking kind of like a pumpkin because it's orange when it's ripe, but it also has foliage that turns yellow or golden as it matures. Without knowing that, it would be easy to mistakenly think that the plant was diseased. Here's a look at some of the foliage a little bit later, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of yellow there. The Royal Golden watermelons start out green, then they gradually turn to orange as they mature and ripen. In the final week or so before harvesting, it's a good idea to water less, and that will produce a sweeter melon. But as luck would have it, that is when it rained 6 days in a row for us. And as you can see, it caused some of our melons to split. And not only did they split, but they ended up being not as sweet because we had too much rain. I harvested this one just a little bit early because I was worried that it was going to split. Now that this is fully chilled, I'm going to cut into it and we'll see if it's any good. Interestingly enough, this thing was ready to split open on its own because I just barely broke the surface and it cracked from end to end, which makes it a good thing that I harvested it when I did. I'm going to go ahead and finish. Well, I can just break it apart, I think. That looks really good. I'm not sure if you can get the full color of it with my indoor lighting, so I'm going to take this half outside and we'll take a look at it in natural light so you can get an idea of just what a pretty yellow it is. Alright, here's a look at it under natural light. I don't know how much difference it'll make, but I thought I'd try it just to see. Now I'm going to take it inside and we'll finish the taste test. We're back inside and we're going to both give this a taste test and see what we think. I'll just try to cut off a couple of little hunks. And we'll both try one. And we'll let you know what we think. There's one for Tanya and here's mine. That's pretty good.
Juicy.
That's real good. It's not overly sweet, but part of that might have been the fact that we had so much rain right before I harvested. And it appears like it's got plenty of seeds. I think what we'll end up doing is probably cut this in half and finish it off. Even though they recommend that you let the melon turn completely orange before harvesting, I harvested this one when there was just a hint of green still, because I was a little worried it was going to split. It's finally time to cut into this and see if it's ripe. There is just a hint of green left in it, but I was afraid to let it go too much longer because we had so much trouble with our mountain yellow sweet watermelon splitting. So I picked this up what I thought was just a hair early, but I think just by the sound of it and everything, I think it is probably still ripe. The last watermelon I cut into, one of the mountain yellow sweets, or mountain sweet yellow, however you want to say it, Once I broke the rind with the knife, it just split from end to end on its own, so I'm hoping this won't do that. I'm just gonna start it just to see what happens. It is wanting to split pretty easy. Yep, it is wanting to split open. I'm going to try to cut right along those little ribs. I'm still being careful, but somewhere along those ribs. So I can kind of take a slice out of it. Once I get that done, we'll come back. There's a look at what this one looks like inside. It looks pretty good to me. I think if I would have left it much longer, it might have been overripe. It might be even a hair overripe right now. I'm going to take this outside so we can get a better look at the color of it. Then we'll bring it back inside. There's a quick look at what it looks like in the sunlight. Now let's go inside and taste it. Okay, since this is split a little bit, all I have to do is just cut off a piece. And I'm going to take a quick taste and see what we think. That's good. I think it might even be a little better than the Mountain Sweet Yellow. I think that one's just about right for me. I'm pretty sure it would have been a lot sweeter if we hadn't had that week of rain right at the wrong time when these were getting ripe. That's the worst time you can get a lot of rain, is right when the watermelons are ripening. They won't be quite as sweet, and then you have the risk of them splitting too, but this one turned out pretty good, I think. Now for some final thoughts on both types. We both preferred the taste of the Royal Golden watermelon, which is the one on the left, to the Mountain Sweet Yellow watermelon, which is the one on the right. The Mountain Sweet Yellow watermelon said about 7 melons, but more than half of those split. So to sum it up, if we grow melons again next year, I think we'll try a couple of other types. Before you go, let us know what type of watermelon you like to grow, and let us know if you've ever grown either of these two types. If you're just now finding this channel and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.